respected elders, dear brothers and sisters, Sairam to you all. And, thank you so much for inviting me. This is the first time I'm coming to your center. Oh, I hear myself now. Okay. So it's my first time here. Your center is absolutely beautiful. I can't stop looking outside. I think Swami has blessed you all with this lovely location. And nothing is a coincidence, so I am truly blessed to be here. And, Sister called me Sridevi. And it's interesting when you said that because I used to have a car and my license plate was Devi Sai. So, nothing is a coincidence. So the words that come out of our mouth are Swami's words. So the words that come out of my mouth today are Swami's words. Saira. So I think, Sister gave a brief background of me, but I'll just, tell you about myself a little bit. So when I was trying to, when Bala asked me to speak, I was trying to figure out, what is a good topic to talk about? And all these thoughts were running through my head, and then I realized the date. I said, we're only a few days away from Aradhana Day, from Swami's Mahasamadhi Day. And that actually got me to think of what I actually wanted to speak today is my journey from being attached to the form and having to realize now the formless. So that form to the formless, I think a lot of us have taken that journey. It's a tough journey. So I started SSE classes when I was 5 years old. And that's the time I think my parents started to learn about Satya Sai Baba. So that is the time they were introduced to Baba. And they liked, it was called Bal Vikas back then. I know Auntie from a long time. And so, so she knows the term Bal, because nowadays it's called SSE, but we called it Bal Vikas. And, they were also learning about Satya Sai Baba. My parents are Shirdi Baba devotees. But, Bal Vikas offered a lot of great values and teachings. So my sister and I had joined, I joined first when I was 5, and when she turned 5, she had joined. And from 5 to 17, we finished the whole course. And in that time, I call myself, and I see, our young student here, I call our youngster, we are the easy path. We learned about Swami when we were so little, we didn't have to worry. This is God. We knew it. No questions, no doubt. But I was told, not only is this a God, he is all the gods. He is Rama, he is Krishna, he is Allah, he is Buddha, Lakshmi, Durga. You name it, you got it. He's this God. He's all the religions. And not only is he, all the names and all the forms, he is the sun, he is the moon, he is the earth, he is all the planets. Wow. This is a one-stop God shop. I don't have to go anywhere else. He is the all-in-one. I don't need to go anywhere else. This is how I grew up. When you come to Swami, I know at a later age, you may have doubts. Is it that because, traditionally our families grow up believing in the God, Rama, Krishna, and it's hard to imagine there is this walking God on this earth. So I felt fortunate that I came to Swami at a young age, and there's this God, he's living in India, in Puttaparthi. I don't have to look anywhere else. And I heard about all these miracles. We used to see these videos, him materializing vibhuti ring. No doubts. We never had a doubt. It wasn't until I was 12 years old that my brother was in Puttaparthi at that time, and Swami had called him for an interview and told him, I am going to do your thread ceremony. Thread ceremony is a traditional ceremony that certain parts of India they do. It's like you get only for boys. It's initiation into Gayatri Mantra. So it's actually a very special ceremony. And he told my brother, I will do your thread ceremony. Call your family. Call your parents and call your family. So that was our first trip to Parthi. My parents, my sister and I, from the US, we went, and then my extended family from India had joined us. This is our besides my brother, this was our very first time seeing Baba in real life, seeing him in person. That excitement, for those of you if you can remember your first trip to Puttaparthi, there's this thrill, this excitement, and it's, what you believe, this walking God on earth, you're going to finally go see him. And true to Swami's words, he called us all for the interview, and he did my brother's thread ceremony. And amongst, other things, so he materialized a ring. He gave it to my brother. My sister is younger than me, so somewhere in the interview room, he materialized a little locket. It's Satya Sai Baba on one side with an Om on the back. And he puts it in her hand. And she just looked at it and said, "Where's the chain?" She was very innocent. So he laughed, and he took it back, and he blew on it 3 times. A silver chain appeared. This chain has, thank you, this chain has no hook, no link, nothing. It's like linkless. There's no hook, nothing. And he puts it on her head. She was very happy. So Swami's sitting here, we're sitting right in front of him. What goes through my head is, my brother got something. My sister got something. I'm next. And I sat up very straight, kind of inched closer. And he's looking. And I'm 12 years old. And, this is my first time. I don't know protocol, So when you're with Swami, he looks like he's a person. You forget he's this Lord of the universe, but at that moment, he's playing with you, laughing with you. He's a person. So, he's talking, and he looked at me, and he said, "I sent a necklace through your friend to you. You put it in the shelf, and you left it there." The backstory. A few months before I had gone to Puttaparthi, one of my friends from Balvikas, she visited Prashanti Nilayam very frequently, and I told her, "Hey, can you get me a necklace, with those little Baba pendants? If you remember, can you bring me one?" And she remembered, and she brought it for me. I wore it a couple of weeks, I took it off, I put it in the shelf, I left it there. And after he said that, I'm like, how did he know that? This is my first trip, and to be honest, that is the most insignificant thing. It's not a big deal. Nobody, if I told that story to someone, they'll be, "So, you took a necklace, you put it in the shelf." It's not a big deal. But this is what Swami does. He takes the insignificant things in our life, and he shows that he knows it. Why? He wants to give us that opportunity to just have that connection. He could have ignored me completely, but he chose to speak to me, and he wanted to show me, I know everything, even this very tiny incident. So in that first trip, I was able to have his darshan, touch his feet, the sparshan, and sambhashan. He spoke with me. So that interview, it was a very profound impact. I said, wow, my one-stop God, that I, don't have to go. He knows everything. So, of course, I know they teach us, as kids, watch your words, watch your actions. But this time I'm like, okay, I really better do that because I hear about it and I just witnessed that. He knows the past, he knows the present, he knows the future. So it was actually an amazing experience. And after that, every trip to India, we would never leave India without making a trip to Prashanti Nilayam. And that was the highlight of our trip. I know we visited relatives, we would go everywhere, but we want to go to Puttaparthi, Prashanti Nilayam. We would go with letters in our hand. Sometimes he would take them. And if he didn't take them and it's time to leave, we would leave it with, you always bump into somebody there, right? You'd leave it with that person and then they would, send a message, yeah, Baba took your letter. So we know it's going to reach him, but it's that fun, being there physically in front of him and just having that interaction, a smile, anything. In 2007, the Arcadia and I'm from the Arcadia Center. So the Arcadia and Glendale Center, we're like sister centers. We went on a pilgrimage to Puttaparthi. There were two things that we had done prior to our trip. The first was we had to do intense sadhana. And the second is we had prepared, usually when you go as a group, there may be a chance to do a music program or something. So we had prepared a music program. And the sadhana was to try to really cut down on your negative thoughts. Any negative, bad feeling, try to cut that down. Because we're going in a group, any one negative feeling, bad feeling towards each other, any jealousy, any sort of irritation, anger, it can pull the whole group down. And we were going, and there's a lot of senior devotees, experienced, so they were very, careful telling us, really watch your thoughts. Let us not have negativity, especially in our group. Let us love each other. Let us be united. And we also said we're going to cut down watching TV. We don't want that external stimulus. We want to, as much as possible, think of Swami. So we did our intense sadhana, and we practiced our music program. The music program we did was all the bhajans that Swami himself has sung, and it was done in a medley form. But the unique thing was there was no leader and there was no follower. It was everyone singing together. So whether you're a bhajan singer, you're not a bhajan singer, musician or not, it didn't matter. We all sang in one voice, men, women, everybody. We went to Puttaparthi. We continued our sadhana over there. We practiced our music program. And then, Swami loves to play his tricks. So the last day of the group, we're ready to leave. Actually, some people had already started making their way to Bangalore. Swami gave the green signal in the morning. Okay, perform in the afternoon. So we quickly called those Bangalore people, come back. Okay, so few of them came back because nobody wants to miss this opportunity. And before evening darshan, we're sitting in Sai Kulwan Thal, so close to the chair, that atmosphere, I can't even describe that, feeling that we are sitting so close to him. And, darshan is over, Swami sits and he gave us the signals to start. We started the medley. Men, women, everyone singing loudly together. These are all Swami's bhajans. Everybody knows them. It wasn't any hard bhajans, but it was done in such a beautiful medley form with instruments, everything. And when we were preparing the music program, we also knew that, sometimes Swami will cut you off, and when he says stop, you stop. Or you have to keep going. So we needed to prepare extra bhajans. We prepared a few extra because in case after the program, if he's just sitting there, we need more. So then we did the traditional bhajans, a few of them, with the leader and a follower and a leader. And one of the bhajans we were thinking about singing, should we not, was "There is no birth, there is no death, there is no URI." Should we sing it? Should we not sing it? We hesitated, and we never sang it. So the medley was over. Swami still sat there, and we continued. And then so a couple of the bhajan leaders sang. I think it was maybe 2-3 bhajans later, and then he gave the signal to stop. What happens usually after bhajans? Swami gets up, the priest lights the lamp, arati, done, right? Swami got up, went to the podium, and he signaled for the mic. Everyone scrambled. They knew what that meant. Discourse. Swami gave us a discourse. The discourse is for everybody, but it was for us. Like, we felt he just gave a spontaneous discourse for our group. So I just wanted to read a few things what he said in this discourse. This was, and maybe you can go and read it. It was December 15th, 2007. He wrote it. So I just took a couple of pieces. All of you have come from such a distant place like America. What for? You have come because you have love for me. You can attain anything if you have love. Everything has birth and death, but there is no birth or death for love. Truth is one, truth is God. This God, in the form of love, is present everywhere, wherever you see. I told you we were preparing a bhajan. There is no birth, there is no death, and we didn't sing it. He said everything has birth and death, but there is no birth or death for love. He knew. So he knew what we were practicing. He knew everything, because that was one of the songs we were really, should we not? And he, mentioning it in the discourse, I think just reaffirmed that I know everything. And I think he just blessed us for the amount of effort that we put. And then he said, all of you have sung the glories of the Lord in one voice. This unity is divinity. Where there is a lack of unity, there is diversity. Hence, develop unity. Where there is unity, there is purity. It is purity that attracts God. We made a small effort of sadhana, and we really did our best. Look what the reward was. It was such a huge reward. And this is our Swami. We make a very minor effort, and he gives us so much. So come April 24th, 2011. So this is the day that I think rattled Sai devotees all over the world. And, nobody's prepared for this. And in my head, I thought, I'm so confused. What just happened? I said, now my one-stop God shop is gone. That's what I felt. What do? I have to go online. I have to do online shopping. In line. That is in me. He's always told us he's within us. I know that. But we're so focused on his form. We're so attached. And this is his way of saying, don't contain me to this body. I am everywhere. You all know it. But now look deeper. That was my awakening. So, look deeper, that awareness. The divinity is not only in me, it's in each and every one of us. God's autograph is all over the place. We just have to look for it. We have to pick it out. It's there. And now, those little insignificant things, I used to think Baba's miracles are those, wow, big miracles. Every day is a miracle. Every every motion, everything we do, your center, the location, this is all his grace. It's everything is a miracle. There is nothing that he isn't in. So this is what I am trying to practice now, is constantly bring out that awareness to see him, bring out that awareness in me, find that divinity in me, and find it in everybody. Service. When we do that selfless service, there is no joy greater in serving. But it's not just serving the homeless and the needy. Our brothers and sisters, our own, we all belong to the Sai organization. Help your brother and sister in the Sai organization. And for me, so being an officer at Arcadia Center, I feel like that has helped me so much, because you're overlooking a lot of things. And I used to get a lot of messages, and I was so grateful to Swami. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Whatever I can do for you, I want to be able to do that little bit of service. I'm going to conclude. I just want to tell one more story. So I always had this nagging thought in my head. I said, Swami, after your Mahasamadhi, all these children are there who never saw you. They never went, they never are going to see you in your physical form. They'll never have that opportunity to talk and to touch your feet. And I was thinking of my own son. I said, I know he goes to Bal Vikas, he sings bhajans fine, but he won't get that same opportunity that I had, and I know how much I enjoyed that. So I always have this nagging thought in my head. I'm saying Swami is everywhere, but I have this thought in my head. And so one day, my son told me he had, I think he was it was a first grade project. So I think he was 6 years old maybe. And he said, the teacher told all the children, whichever country you're from, pick a holiday or a celebration that you celebrate and do a presentation. So he chose Ugadi. Ugadi is the Telugu New Year, the Telugu Kannada New Year, and we just celebrated that a few weeks ago. It comes around March, April time. So he wanted to talk about Ugadi. That's why he prepared everything, and he gave his talk in his class. So after he came home from school, I asked him, I said, how was your presentation? How was your talk? Oh, it went very well. And guess what? Baba came to my class today. I said, what do you mean Baba came to your class? He goes, oh yeah, all my friends saw him. The whole class saw him. Baba came to my class. What is he talking about? I said, what do you mean Baba came to your class? And he said it very chill. It was very cool, And I said, I was clueless. I said, okay, tell me what happened. So apparently after every child gives their presentation, the teacher puts a video. And she puts a video of whatever you're celebrating. So she had no idea he's doing Ugadi, so she must have quickly Googled Ugadi and did a YouTube search. And while he's talking, there are so many Ugadi videos. Which one did she choose? Ugadi in Puttaparthi. Okay? Ugadi in Puttaparthi. There's a commentator talking about what is Ugadi, and Baba is giving darshan, taking the letters. And when he told me that, he said it, he was very cool about it because it was no big deal for him. But that was the answer to that nagging, doubt in my mind. And I think he answered, he said, I am with everybody. I am with, it doesn't have to be the form. I am always with you. He blessed not only my son, he blessed that entire class. He blessed the teacher. My son even went up to the teacher and goes, hey, that's the God that I pray to. And apparently she said, cool. and so, these are kids, and they all got Baba's darshan. And I feel like this is his way of, he's preparing that next generation, his army, his soldiers. He's preparing them. So when, now being an SSE teacher, I find that quite rewarding, because this is the next generation there of his soldiers that are coming through. I just want to conclude with saying, just never let him go. He is always with us. He is everything. He is our online, inline, everything. He is it. Sairam.